Hello, everyone. Welcome to Off the Charts, episode 250. My name is Dan, and I shall be your host. Before we start off, if you like this type of content, please like and subscribe. Tell your friends, share away, hit the little thumbs up, and the little bell to be notified when I publish new content like this. So I will be trying something new today. Some people have commented in the past that they like it when I tell a story about something or an example. So I'm going to put a little bit of story time. Now, before I scare you off, this story is so ridiculous, the punch is worth it at the end. Okay, let me just put it that way. It's loosely based on music. The reason I thought about it is because, well, I'll show you there. So, it's about the song Girls, Girls, Girls by Motley Crue, okay? So, every time I hear the song or I see the word girls, 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 I just think about this stupid story, which happened to me. True story, by the way. I must have told my friends, but, anyway, here goes. So anyway, if you like this type of little stories, we'll try it out. And if it goes well, I have plenty more dumb stories like this. But this one here takes the cake. So let's go back to about 2004-ish, 2003, 2000, about that time. Internet was new. Not that new, but new enough there. Before I start off here, let's... Okay. So I was working, had my team around me. So there's a lot of people, like, on our floor. It's a call center, okay? So for some reason, I was at work on my desk, and I was manager of a team. There was 3 teams actually on our floor, but I was manager of one. And for some reason, I wanted to I wanted to search the lyrics for the song Girls, Girls, Girls by Motley Crue. Okay? So I found it, Control C, Control V. I forgot what I did, but anyway, it was still, the lyrics were still cached in the memory, or still copied in the memory. And then, sure enough, a few minutes later, something goes down on the server. I forget, honestly, what was down. I also forget why I wanted the lyrics to Motley Crue's Girls, Girls, Girls. But anyway, it was done. So, remember, the lyrics are still Control C. So, something breaks down, but on an IT level. So I had to call in, right? This or that is broken, or it's not working, server's not working, whatever. No problem. We're going to go send somebody to go and check it out. So anyway, in comes said guy. We'll call him Chris. That was his name actually there. So he sits at my desk and starts, going through servers just to get some data to write a ticket. So what happens, he's got his notepad up or whatever, and he types something, gathers some information on my PC to report the issue. But what pastes on his report was girls, girls, girls. And he looks at me, he's like, wow, okay, so someone's having fun here. And I'm like, no, it's the Motley Crue song. And he's like, sure. So I was like, fuck. Okay, whatever. So that was kind of the end of that. But every time he saw me, he goes, oh yeah, girls, girls, girls. It's like I was looking at a porn site at work. So about a week or so goes by. So again, when I said at the beginning the internet was new, so a friend of mine, I guess it was a slow day, we're looking at some websites, And one of them, or somebody's looking at some websites, and of course I get curious. I'm like, okay, I want to see what that website is. So it was some sort of website called like Mullets or Us. So it was like the worst characters you could think of, but with mullets, parting the business in the front, parting the back. Everybody should know what a mullet is now, anyway. But these were bad mullets. So we were looking at that, we're laughing and crazy. So the reason I said this was at the beginning of where the internet was fairly new, is most web pages at the time were made just out of HTML. So these days, when you click next, or if there's a next button on the web page itself, they're usually at the same place. This is important to the story here. So it's always at the same place. So next, next, next. You kind of just don't even have to look and just click next. So then I thought that website was hilarious. So I go to my PC and of course I type in the URL, Mullets Are Us. So, but the thing is, and this is important here, where back in the HTML days, it was usually people like me. I had a web page at the time too, but the thing is, people would put the next button, on top here, and then the next time the next button. So the next and next. It was all over the place. Okay, so I'm at my PC, and of course I'm looking at this mullet. These guys were like terrible. Like it was like the worst of the worst, but with a mullet. So of course, mullet, ha ha ha, you're laughing. Then if clicking next on the top right, or these next buttons were on the page itself. So remember the guy that was bugging me about the URL, the girls. Well, I'm going through, and then out of nowhere, I click next, and of course, next, and it was this guy, and I'll remember, he was chubby like me here, naked. This is at work. So the guy was naked with a bowling ball, but the bowling ball was painted like an 8-ball, from pool, and he had it in front of his junk. Okay, so I'm watching this and I'm like, holy shit, that's disturbing, but whatever. The guy was naked with a mullet, completely naked, but with a bowling ball in front of his junk, but with an 8-ball. So, and just as I'm on that web page right there, or that picture, who the fuck walks into my workplace but that guy Chris again for something. So I'm panicking. So I'm trying again, remember the next button is wherever. So I'm trying to find it before he gets to my desk. So I click next. I'm like, okay, now I can leave it there. So I go, what's up, Chris? And then I just turn at my desk, and it was the same naked guy, but his back was turned. He was like putting his hands like on a wall, so you saw his butt and all that, and it's like he was facing a wall, when a cop arrests you, and whip marks all over his back, and of course buck naked, and of course as I'm clicking, as I clicked, didn't realize it, we both turn around, and he looks at me, and I go, sorry man, this time I've got no fucking reason, I've got nothing here. So anyway, that girls one was valid. I was copy pasting this, but this one was just so fucking embarrassing. We had a fat guy with an 8-ball with a mullet. I click next and just turn around. We both turn on at the same time, and you're like, oh fuck, I can't validate this one here. So anyway, he caught me red-handed there though. So anyway, that's my little dumb story regarding all this because of Motley Crue's girls. And of course, every time I think of that, now you will too, think of this dumb story. Anyway, if you liked it, put the thumbs up, and we'll see if we can make some more. If this is a flop, it's a flop. It is. So anyway, have yourselves a great whatever, guys. Thanks again for watching, and we shall see you guys next time. Take care. Bye bye.